Hey, are you concerned about protecting that brand new pretty sled that you just got? Here's the solution. Use SledSend 24 for a 15% off discount code on some backwoods bumpers, the industry leader in performance protection.
Oh boy. All right, let's get into it. SledSend listeners, welcome back to the next episode. Still at Heydays. Disregard some of the background noise. And as always, be sure to check out the description. There's a ton of links in there with some discount codes. We have a stacked lineup of a bunch of companies helping support us this year, so be sure to check that out. And then we've got Kobe, and we have Mason and Cooper. Montana boy.
Montana Sledder.
Well, yeah, I know his handle, but you're a Montana boy. You're a Wyoming boy.
Montana boy.
Oh, you're both Montana.
Yeah,
Perfect. Let's go.
We're both like 60 miles.
Close to the mouth. Remember?
Okay. For some reason, I thought you were in Wyoming.
No, yeah,
the
so
lodge is in Wyoming.
Yeah, our lodge is in Wyoming.
Okay, so you. Okay, gotcha.
We're in
gotcha.
a really weird sliver of Wyoming.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you cross the border of Montana, you drop down in. There's like probably 60 miles of Wyoming.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it goes back into Montana when you hit Cook City.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. I grew up in Ovando, if you know where that is.
Kinda, yes.
Sealy Lake.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I know you know where Sealy is.
Yeah, I know where Sealy is,
Yeah.
but yeah,
So, like,
Ovando's kind of one of those like.
it's a population of like 60 people.
Right.
So it's super small. So that's why I was referencing the Montana thing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Love the
'Cause you're a
Montana
Montana
boys.
boy, too,
Yeah.
so, yeah.
I wasn't born there, unfortunately, but well, cool. So let's we'll start with you, Mason. Why don't you just give the listeners and viewers a little bit of an introduction to who you are, what you do, kind of on the personal side. Talk about where you live and whatever you want to share with that, and then we'll go to Cooper, and then we can start talking snowmobile stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So my name is Mason Miller. I'm 22 years old. I was born and raised in Red Lodge, Montana, right at the base of the Beartooth Pass. So growing up there it was awesome, man. I mean, my dad, he just always kind of started me at a young age on snowmobiles at like 2 years old, probably.
There you
go. He built a tire shop, I think in like 95, and that's right when you come into Red Lodge. And all winter long, Red Lodge back in the day, you see tons of snow. Like you could literally ride snowmobiles around town.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was super cool. So like as a kid, like I always was riding around town, like whatever. It was super cool. And then he started taking me up the Beartooth Pass when I was, I think, 4 years old.
Okay.
And I rode my first snowmobile up there as a Prowler 440 over the Beartooth Pass. And like back in the day, like it was pretty crazy, man. Like the Beartooth Pass it's wild, man. And
Sounds wild.
No one
name.
rides over it anymore, just because the amount of snow and the avalanches that go over the road itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really possible anymore.
Gotcha.
So we haven't done that in a long time. But like growing up, that's what we used to do. And like my dad would take me dirt biking every weekend. Like we were just motorheads, man. And like,
Got it.
I lost my mom at a young age. And
Sorry to hear
that.
Yeah, too bad.
So from there, like that was kind of like our outing. It was like
Okay.
snowmobiles and dirt
Sure.
bikes, and like that's just what
what
we
an
did.
awesome outing, though.
Yeah. Like
Good way, dude.
when that
Good
happened,
way.
my dad's like, "This is what we're doing." He's like, "We're
Got
gonna, every weekend,
Good for you
every
guys.
time off that we had, like." And he didn't have much either, man. I mean, like he started from the ground up, like broke, like literally, like it's just one of those stories, man. Like the come up, man, and like he worked his ass off, and he got us to a really awesome place in life. And just like seeing him work really hard and do that,
Instilled
like
that
that's
in you.
Yeah, that's instilled that into me, and like
Well, shout out to Dad. Hopefully.
yeah, shout out to his name's Jarrett Miller, man. He's awesome, dude.
Hopefully
He's got us to where we're at today, and like he needs all the respect in the world. So we've just we've had a cool story, man, and we've lived in a really awesome place, and I just love it, and I've met a lot of cool people along the way, and so the top of the world, that came about 2 years ago. And we were at a show at Elevated Power Sports in Billings, Montana, and super good friends. I used to work there out of high school for a bit. And this guy, Bart Milam, he walks up to us and he's like, "Hey, man," he's like, "I'm selling the Top of the World store." And we're like, "What?" He's like, "Really? You're selling that place?" And he's like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "I'm sick of tourists. Like, I can't do this anymore." He's like, "I'm out." And we're like, "Okay, well, what's it do to buy this place?" And little did we know, it was like the hardest thing ever, man. I mean, we fought the Forest Service. We to own that place and run it fully off the grid is like a whole nother story, man. It's
way hard.
It's hard, man. And like it put us through the ringer. Like we made no money. Like the floods last year in Red Lodge killed us, man. Like all of our business, they shut down Gardner, Yellowstone, all that stuff. And like, that's all of our traffic, so first year buying that place, we opened it up in the winter, like no customers, like literally nothing, man. And then the summertime comes and we're like, okay, we can redeem ourselves. Like we're going to come back, floods hit us like first week of summer. And we're like, okay, well, this is how we're going to start this out, aren't we?
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy, man, but we're super stoked to have the place now, and I think that we're working things out and finally getting ahead of the game a little bit. It takes a while, starting a business. You guys get it, like they say it's like 5 years before you really see anything come out of it. Yeah. And I'm hoping we can get it done sooner than that, but we love to come up and we're having fun doing it, man, and that's all that matters. We're just passionate about what we do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
got to start there.
Yeah, like I said, my life before, it's just motors. Like that's all we ever did, man. Is just ride, whatever it was.
Didn't matter.
Trucks. Yeah, trucks. I mean, we always building trucks. We always did stuff like that. Cars. I mean, everything, man. Yeah. So this is instilled into us, and we love it.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Yeah, it's a little bit about me and what we do now. So
right on.
Yeah,
cool.
man.
Cool. We'll dissect some more of that.
Yeah, we will for sure.
Cooper, your turn.
Yep.
Let us know.
Actually from Billings, Montana. Probably started riding about 6 years ago and been hooked ever since. And then I met Mason about a year and a half ago, something like that, a year ago. And then we've been working for him. So
nice.
Yeah. I'm a city kid, so I grew up like in the city. I wasn't like big into snowmobiles. 6 years ago, my dad and I kind of went out and rode a sled, and I was like, damn, I was hooked ever since.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But yeah, I'm not too much about me. I play basketball in the winter, so like my schedule is a little bit different. Trying to get to go work with him and film, but
who you playing
basketball for?
Basketball like no other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like he's on the news, kind of like good at basketball, man.
Nice.
Like he's really good at basketball.
I play for Billings West and Billings, so
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
How old are you?
I'm a senior in high school, so I'm 18.
Okay.
I just turned 18.
What position?
I'm like a shooting guard forward.
Shooting guard forward. Nice. Yeah. Are you trying to be a basketball player or a snowboarder?
I haven't decided what I want to do yet. So kind of keeping it open.
Tough.
Sure.
Yeah,
it's tough
hard.
trying to juggle.
Exactly.
Tough trying to juggle stuff, and that's a really tough one because sports is. Whew,
yeah.
dude, that's a time eater.
Yeah.
That eats a lot of time.
Yeah, for sure.
That's kind of the problem we run in with now with him filming and stuff. Is like he's got school, he's got basketball. It's like we got to find those really fine times to get him up there and like cram as much videoing as we can into one day.
Yeah.
So
or
hard
2 days if you can, but
get
it's like
writing times to meet up.
Exactly.
Usually it's Sundays, so I'll head up like Saturday night, stay the night, ride Sunday, and then head back Sunday night, hit school, practice, play a game on Friday night, Saturday.
And unfortunately, it's like to get top-notch, top-tier stuff, like I'll break it to you like straight up, like the Sunday, evenings when you're all dead and tired and the mountain's already tracked up, the trail's tracked up, this and that. Like that's not the best time to do it. That's like we were talking. It's like, dude, we need to, when it dumps on Tuesday, we all need to be able to, like, if it's wintertime, we need to either take times off our job if we're not working for ourselves or however. We need to be able to have that day off, go, get the shots, get the first snow, and then, go back to our jobs or whatever. And then do like a fun ride for the weekend or whatever.
Right. I know. I'm hoping I can give this kid a career when he's done with school, but that's up to him. And I'm not pressuring him into anything, but he's got a place with me, and I'll pay him good, and we'll have lots of fun. So
there you go.
He's just got to make up his mind and figure out what he wants to do. But
it's a hard decision.
I need to film, man. He's really good behind the camera too, man. I mean, this dude, like,
absolutely.
He walks. It's a weird story how I met Cooper, but
this is awesome.
So he comes into the Top of the World store, and this is our first summer when we were open, and it was pretty slow, and it was like the end of the day, and this kid's like walking around in the back, and he's looking all like, like sketchy, and I'm like, what's this kid doing, man? Like he's just like standing there, like looking at stuff, like by himself.
Yeah, like he definitely thought I was stealing stuff from him.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know what he was doing, so I walked back there. I was like, hey, buddy, like you need help with something? And he's like,
who do you know here?
Right, and he's like, hey man, he's like, I've been following you on Instagram for a while, and he's like, I was just wondering, like, got my camera, like, you want to go film something right now? And I'm like, sure, dude. I was like, I got my dirt bike here, like, we could go like do some wheelies down the highway or something, or like go do some enduro. So 10 minutes later, we go outside. We went and filmed all night, came back, and he was like 17 at the time. And I'm like, how old are you, man? Like and he was just such a young guy. And I was like, oh, what, like, this is cool, man. Like, I like to help out young guys like you, and like we can, help each other with content, whatever. Like, I didn't really think much of it at the time. So I was like, just stay at my lodge for the night, whatever, you can head back to Billings tomorrow. So he stayed with us for the night, and like, we hung out, did whatever, and it was cool, and racked it up. And then ever since then, can't get rid of him. So
there you go.
It worked out, man. But it was just funny how he was in the store and he's just all awkward and didn't know what he was doing in there. I was like, bro, what are you doing, man? Like,
that's funny.
What are you doing?
I was like, just come talk to me.
What sparked the content creation stuff? Like, how did you get interested in that idea?
I was like super interested in like not doing flips. So I like I didn't want to be the dude doing all the crazy stuff. So I picked up a camera and it worked out for me. And now I'm getting back into like doing more crazy stuff. He's teaching me a lot. Like last year I progressed a lot more on the riding side of stuff. So I'm thankful for that. And then
hey, what's up, guys? I want to take a quick second to introduce another one of this year's sponsors. We have RSI. So the handlebar setup on your sled is arguably probably one of the most important components on your whole setup. So definitely check out their site. They've got a ton of different products, and use SledSend 24 at checkout for a discount.
Yeah, but that's how I usually got it. That's how I got into the filming. I didn't want to be doing flips or hurting myself.
Yeah, understand. Well, it's paying off because you capture some sick stuff.
Thank you. I appreciate
really
that.
good. Really good. Let's talk about sleds. What are you boys on? And then is it the same or something new?
He's gonna have something cooler, so you can go first.
Well, so last year I had that 23 G5.
Yep.
And it was just stock turbo. I did all the force can and the boost boots and stuff like that, and had Ice Age on there and RSI and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
It was a sweet build. I really enjoyed it. I was gonna stage 2 it, but got my clutching a little later in the season and didn't want to go through. Clutching is a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
So I was just like, you know what, wait till next season. So this year we're gonna do a 24 G5 Expert Turbo, 154 with a 3-inch track, and we're gonna do a stage 2 Ibex clutching and tuning from them.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna run the Force Turbos can, their boost bands, and their charge tube.
Nice.
And then we're also gonna do full Ice Age setup. The rails, those are really detrimental to my riding.
Yeah.
Just because, we have a lot of rocks and a lot of tree hopping and a lot of, hard landings. So those bomber rails, that's probably like one of my favorite setups on the sleds is doing those. And then I'm hoping to get on with Zebras this year. I ran their stuff last year, and their suspension's awesome, man.
Yeah, you like that?
When you get the whole setup on there, dude, it's game changing, dude. Like, I was always against like buying a ton, super expensive suspension, and like I was like, there's no point for it, but like when you
people don't realize how massive an effect.
What's your most important mod to you?
Bro.
Most important mod to me.
What?
I was just gonna say probably the suspension. After you just said that,
I was probably gonna say suspension
or the rails.
And my rails. Like that to me is like the handling of the sled and the durability of the sled is like a big deal for me. Like riding every day and like knowing my equipment's gonna hold up
over like a turbo.
Honestly, I don't need a turbo.
Yeah.
Really. Like 2 seasons ago, I rode a stock G4 850 with a 2.5-inch track, a 154, and went everywhere that the turbos and all my buddies were going, and it was almost just like fun. It was a challenge, you know. The turbo just makes for the crazy content, man. You could do turbo wheelies for days. The things come out of the snow instantly. It's just insane, the difference. But like, what I think sets a good rider apart from some of the others is being able to be proficient on a stock sled. That's one of the big things for me. Like, I never rode a turbo until 2021 when Skidoo released their factory one, because I was against aftermarket turbos. I hated how they ran. I hated the lag. Like, I'd ridden plenty of them from my friends and other people, and I was just like, the reliability of this isn't where it's at. I don't want to sit on the mountain and work on a turbo all day long. So I was like, when someone comes out with a factory turbo, I'll switch. So Skidoo came out with the factory turbo in 21, and I was like, nah, man. Like, that's awesome. And it was, it's the best sled I ever rode. And then, the 22 and the 20, they just keep progressing, man. And now this 24, it's pretty much the same as the 23. I know they did some revisions on it with just some of the minor imperfections on the plastics and stuff. But I'm super stoked for this year's sled. It's going to be next level. I was with SCS, but now we swapped to ECD wraps, and those guys they're on point, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna come out with a pretty
nice
cool.
stuff.
We're gonna come out with a pretty cool wrap this year, and the build's gonna be next level. So stay posted on it.
Yeah,
hopefully
for sure. I'll keep
sweet.
tabs. I'll keep tabs for sure. What about you, Cooper?
Yeah, my build's not going to be anywhere near as cool as his, but I'm on a 22 Lynx this year.
Okay, nice.
I moved from Arctic Cat last spring, and I love the Lynx.
Yeah.
Maybe get a Skidoo. I'm trying to sell it, so if anybody wants to buy it, you can come buy it. Sorry, I had to
shameless plug. No, you're good, dude.
But no, I love that sled, so I'll probably just stay with that, and then I'll do RSI bars to it.
Yep.
Hopefully get like a Elevate kit for it in the Ice Age. But other than that, she's going to be stock. She's got a can on her, so.
Yeah.
That's another thing I didn't touch on was the Ice Age Elevate kit.
Yeah.
So that was my first season on it last year. Dude, it's awesome. Like, if you guys have never ran it before, it raises, depending on your Skidoo or Cat or Polaris, it all a little different. But on the Skidoo, it's an 1.5 inches. And holy cow, man. I mean, the lift out of the snow, man, and like the response time is effort. Like, it's insane. Yeah. Like, and the rails, I mean, the spindles themselves are milled and they look really good and they're strong. I mean, I bang trees, man, and those things, they held up for stout, man. Yeah. But yeah, if you guys are looking into that, man, Ice Age, they're the boys.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite.
They got it down for sure.
Definitely
the Elevate kit. Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Tyler with SledSend. Wanted to take a second of your guys' time and ask for your guys' support for what we're doing with the brand of SledSend. So if you guys are enjoying, the podcast episodes with all the different guests, the tour videos and such, check out SledSend.com. We have a variety of different merch. Every order comes with air fresheners and stickers. And like I said, we appreciate your guys' support. We need it to continue to do this. And without further ado, let's get into the video.
Touch on what's Limitless riding clinics. What's that?
So we just started Limitless about like 2 weeks ago. So it's been in the works for like a year and a half. We've been fighting the Forest Service, getting permits to be legal beagles, and it's, if anyone out there in the guide world knows, getting a permit from the Forest Service is not an easy task. Yeah. There's prospectus and there's so much stuff that you go through. I mean, the stacks of papers that me and my dad sat through and filled out, I mean, it took days and days and days. And then you send it in and then they send it back and you got to do it again. And, it was not really tough. It was not fun, man. So, like, I was supposed to have it last winter. And we were, like, set to release Limitless last year, and we were all hyped and, like, had this whole plan, like, website done, everything. And then they're like, yeah, man, sorry, you're not going to get it. And we're like, wow. We're like, sweet. Like, we spent a bunch of money on a website, like, all this marketing. Yeah. And then we got denied. So we're like, okay.
So is Limitless riding clinics ran out of?
Yeah, yep. It's based out of Top of the World.
Top of the World Resort?
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
And the location of that is, what's the town? Or?
So it's 30 miles out of Red Lodge, Montana, on top of the Beartooth Pass. But if anyone, like, goes to Cook City, which most people have, instead of going left, you go right back to Red Lodge. Okay. And you can't make it. Some people ride from Cook City all the way to us. Yeah. But it's a long trail ride in there. Gotcha. It takes a while. So most people come over Chief Joseph 296 out of Cody, Wyoming, and that's the easiest way to get to us. Okay. And from Billings, it's 2.5 hours. From Cody, it's an hour and a half. Yeah. So it's really not bad, man. And like when you get to our parking lot, you ride in 8 miles on a groomed trail right to us. And the cool thing about when you get there is the cabins and everything and our lodge, you can ride right from the front door. No trail riding at all. Yeah. Like, it's awesome, bro. And like, no one knows about us and no one knows about our place. It's like such a hidden gem.
Well, why'd you come on the podcast then?
I know, man, because I have to, man.
Tell it on yourself.
I know. I have to get people out to ride with us, and I have to share the love, man.
Yeah,
like, this place is awesome, and it deserves to be seen. And it deserves to be ridden by, some of these awesome guys out here and people that just want to come explore it. And, I can't hog it all to myself. I'll still have my spots that no one will find. But
well, we'll stack up the description with links to your guys' site and stuff and your handles. But why don't you just verbally, your Instagram, how people can get in touch with you, and then stuff with the resort and the clinics and stuff.
So my Instagram handle is just MasonMeller_999. And then we have Limitless Riding Clinics, all one word. And then we have Top of the World Resort, all one word as well. And pretty much all of our Instagram handles link to each other. So we have like one of those Insta bio things or whatever.
Yeah.
And you click that and it has all of our websites, all of our
Nice.
booking information.
Perfect.
So it's just right there, bang, super easy to get onto.
Sure. Nice.
My email's on there too. That's, probably the best to get a hold of me.
Get in contact.
Yeah.
Nice.
Either that or you can call me too, but
Sure.
that gets a little overwhelming. at
Dude,
points,
I mean,
so.
you live in Montana. There's hardly ever service, no matter
Right,
where you
yeah.
go. It's,
Yeah, literally, and we don't have service up there. We do have Starlink at the lodge, so
There
don't
you
worry.
go.
We have
Nice.
Wi-Fi up there. We do have Wi-Fi, but I can tell you guys a little bit more about the lodge. I mean,
Give us
so we
a
just I'll give
rundown.
you a quick rundown. I've said this like a million times this weekend anyway. So we got 4 hotel rooms. We got an 8-person barrel sauna. We got a big lodge that it's 5 bedrooms. We got a bunch of bunk beds. We do all the meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner. We have a liquor license, so we got a bar up there.
Hell yeah.
And then we got the riding clinics and all that out of there too. So
Nice.
it's pretty much all inclusive. You
Cool.
guys come up, stay.
What kind of riding clinics, or do you all one, or is it different?
So the riding clinics are beginner, intermediate, and advanced.
Yeah.
And on my website, they explain through what the differences are between the two and what you'll get out of the experience.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love that. Yeah.
We got a sauna in the middle of the mountains. So.
That's so, yeah, when you
That's
said
been
that, I
that's
was
been
like,
the line of the
Yeah.
weekend. Hey, we
Oh.
have a sauna in the middle of the mountains.
Yeah.
It's
hell
pretty
yeah,
cool.
tough to beat. Tough to beat.
Right.
Well, cool. Yeah, this has been such a common thing. We try to keep them short, obviously, for heydays and respect
Yeah.
everybody's schedules. But
No,
then you
totally
get to
get
flowing,
that.
and 30 minutes
Like,
has already
man,
gone
it'd be
by.
easy to talk
And
for
I
an
feel
hour
like
or two.
Yeah, we could definitely probably sit here and talk.
We're not
for-
even an eighth of the way through of what we need to
No.
discuss. Which that just means part 2 with you boys.
I know. Yeah, we didn't get to talk to you much, so
No, it's
we'll come back around and get
Oh, yeah.
more on you guys. But I
Yeah,
think
for
we
sure.
should maybe get SledSend up at the top of the world this year.
Hey, we're
That would
down.
be
Yeah,
Sweet.
do a little
Yeah, that'd be
collab
dope.
and bring you boys out and
Yeah.
kind of show
That
you
would
a
be sweet.
little bit
That
of the
place
experience
sounds
of what
do,
we do.
do some episodes in the
Yeah,
lodge, and
yeah.
100% game.
It'd
Yeah,
be
we can
awesome.
we can shoot about it. So,
Okay.
last 2 things. So, at the end of every single episode, we have our question that the guest asks the listeners and viewers. So it can be about mods, it can be about riding clinics, it can be about location, it can
Whatever
be,
you want.
Jeff's is always, what's your favorite backcountry snack, right? So like a question, so then we clip it and run it on TikTok
Yeah,
Reels and
gotcha.
stuff, and Thumb Warriors can give us
Okay.
their 2 cents. So a question from each of you to the listeners and viewers, and then after that, or while one's doing the other, well, that sounded weird.
I didn't even catch it.
It would be an honor if you boys would sign the
Hell
banner
yeah.
as well. So if one of you wants to ask a question while the other one's signing and switch or whatever you guys want to do, appreciate
He throws
it.
you under the bus.
All right. My question for you guys would be, what's your favorite destination to go, and why? What makes it special, and why would you go there over somewhere else?
Heck yeah.
So that'd be my question.
Where's your favorite place?
Let us know.
Ooh, I don't know. I haven't traveled very much. I stay pretty close to home. Like I'm in the Cook City, top of the
Fair
world
enough.
area all the time.
Fair enough.
But yeah.
Well, let's grab your signature. Now you just set her down there, and then what's
Mason?
your question?
All right. My question for you sledders out there. Trees or jumps?
Perfect. Let us know.
All righty.
Good question. SledSend listeners, thank you guys for tuning in. We will catch you on the next one. You boys, thank you for showing up. Appreciate you boys being
Anytime.
here.
Pleasure meeting
We'll
you
talk
fellas.
more.
Yeah, we
Thanks
will.
for having us.
All right, we need to snap a
Picture.
YouTube thumbnail photo real quick.
Oh, that feels weird.